All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack the absolutely monumental blueprint for India's future that was laid out at the recent CII Annual Business Summit. We're looking at a master plan here, one that brings together top government officials, global thought leaders, and industry giants to literally chart the course for the next couple of decades. The sheer scale of ambition we're talking about is just incredible, and we've distilled the most critical takeaways into a roadmap so we can grasp exactly how this massive transformation is actually going to happen.
To really set the stakes for us today, listen to this bold projection from industry leader Ajay Piramal. It perfectly captures the undeniable optimism surrounding India right now. He's not talking about some distant pie-in-the-sky goal. He's projecting that by 2029, which is literally just a few years away, India is going to secure its place as the third largest economy on the planet.
Number 3. Let that sink in for a second. Reaching that spot is a massive milestone because it means overtaking deeply established global heavyweights. But what's truly fascinating is that the summit wasn't just a victory lap celebrating this ranking. Oh no, it was laser-focused on the how. How does the country cross that finish line and actually stay there? It all comes down to aggressive execution, solid infrastructure, and smart policy.
So we've boiled the summit's findings down to 5 core pillars that outline this roadmap to 2047. 1. The vision of Viksit Bharat. 2. Building a macroeconomic powerhouse. 3. The tech and AI engine. 4. Executing a green transition. And 5. Mastering global value chains.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the vision for Viksit Bharat 2047.
The ultimate destination driving all of this is Viksit Bharat 2047, a highly ambitious vision to transform India into a fully developed, prosperous nation right in time to mark a century of independence. Now, global investors aren't just flocking over by coincidence, right? They're drawn by what's being called the 4Ds advantage: democracy, demography, demand, and diversity. This framework is the absolute bedrock of the whole growth story. You've got a stable governance structure, a massive working-age population, a totally exploding consumer market, and a rich talent pool. It's the perfect storm for businesses looking to diversify away from the usual manufacturing hubs.
Moving right along to Section 2, the macroeconomic powerhouse.
You simply can't support a developed nation without an absolute powerhouse of a macroeconomic engine backing it up. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman pointed out a truly fascinating turning point. Think back to 2013 and 2014. The economy was really bogged down by the twin balance sheet problem, meaning both banks and the corporate sector were drowning in bad loans. We'll contrast that with today. She emphasized that we've completely flipped the script to a twin balance sheet advantage. The banks are healthy, corporate balance sheets are cleaned up, and they are practically in the pink of health, totally ready to fuel some serious, confident expansion.
And we're seeing that financial health immediately converted into market action. You've got the PLI, or Production-Linked Incentive Scheme, which is successfully pulling in massive global investment and ramping up complex manufacturing. There's also a huge strategic push to empower MSMEs through better financing, which is crucial since they're the real backbone of the economy. Plus, they are actively modernizing legal reforms, like pushing for alternative dispute resolution, or ADR, to seriously speed up the ease of doing business. Throw in a totally untapped $390 billion opportunity waiting in financial services alone, and the momentum is just undeniable.
And get this, officials highlighted a critical timeline: 30 years. We are entering a massive demographic dividend, where dependency levels are at historic lows. So for the next 3 decades, the country is going to have this young, incredibly dynamic human capital needed to sustain this momentum. And that's happening right while a lot of the rest of the world is struggling with an aging workforce. Talk about a competitive edge.
All right, let's talk about the accelerator pedal. Section 3, the tech and AI engine. So the macroeconomic foundation is poured and set. But what is the turbocharger here? It's tech. Projections shared at the summit suggest something wild. Artificial intelligence alone could account for a staggering 10% of India's $5 trillion GDP target by 2025. 10%. We're talking about nearly $500 billion added to the economy purely from AI-driven automation, sharper decision-making, and massive efficiency gains across basically every sector. But wait, it gets bigger. Looking even further ahead, industry experts, like the CEO of BLP Group, estimated that the generative AI market holds a $1.3 trillion potential by 2030. Yes, trillion with a T.
They're foreseeing AI revolutionizing everything from predicting when wind turbines might fail, to super-personalized education, to preventative healthcare. This isn't just futuristic hype anymore. Top unicorns are integrating it into their daily operations right now to drive absolutely massive productivity gains.
Now, let's pivot to Section 4, Green Transition and Sustainability.
As exciting as that tech-fueled growth is, the summit made it abundantly clear that it cannot come at the expense of the environment. So we're looking at a timeline with some major dual milestones. By 2030, the goal is to hit all the Sustainable Development Goals, and according to World Economic Forum data discussed there, create 50 million net new jobs in green energy. That short-term explosion in green tech and solar jobs lines up perfectly with the ultimate heavy-hitting mandate, achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2070. It's solid proof that sustainability and massive economic growth really can go hand in hand. And that brings us to our final pillar, Section 5, Mastering Global Value Chains. To truly become a global heavyweight, India has to radically reshape its role in international trade. Look around. The whole world is trying to de-risk and diversify. Nobody wants all their supply chain eggs in one basket anymore. And India is perfectly positioned to capture what we call friendshoring opportunities. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar made a great point. In today's geopolitical climate, trust and reliability are the ultimate business currency. By stepping up as a Vishwa Bandhu, a friend to the world, India is rapidly becoming a highly trusted, reliable node in global commerce. So the takeaway from the policy sessions was pretty blunt. Piecemeal, tiny reforms just won't cut it anymore. India needs a completely holistic, integrated trade and industrial policy. It means embedding deep into global value chains so the country isn't just assembling parts, but actually creating high-value tech. It also involves smart moves like dropping import duties on specific raw materials we don't have domestically. That lowers manufacturing costs and immediately boosts exports. It's a cohesive, highly scalable Make in India strategy. Well, we've unpacked a ton in this explainer, from that staggering $1.3 trillion AI potential to cashing in on the demographic dividend to the massive green energy pivot. The blueprint for Viksit Bharat 2047 is incredibly clear. But here is the ultimate question we have to leave you with. The capital is there, the youth is there, and the tech is ready. But can the industry and the government collaborate and cut through the remaining red tape fast enough to actually execute this master plan by 2047? The clock is officially ticking. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. See you on the next one.